Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our guest for the next 45 minutes, a wallet project. I know you already know the project because it's everywhere on Twitter. They're pretty famous. So I'm pretty excited to talk with Mike about like the whole ecosystem. But before that, let me talk to you a little bit about Decod3rs and what we are doing on this channel. So basically, it's pretty simple. We are adding Web3 layers to the creator. For every video that you're watching live on the channel, we will mint the thumbnail, raffle it, and if you win it, you will get the ownership of the video and a portion of the revenue. Aligning the financial incentive between content creators and like the community and like the Decod3rs community, but also all of the project attached to it and other content creators. Like for you to get whitelist. So if you want to participate and have a chance to win a whitelist, go to Atlas3. You have the QR code, but also all the link in the description. And because like the first batch will be a free mint, so yeah, just why not take it. But other than that, that's all I have to tell you about Decod3rs. Let's welcome Mike and start to talk about like. Did I lost you? Yes, I think I lost you. Wait. I lost the sound. Can you hear me? I think, yeah, okay, I can hear you. I don't have your sound, bro. Oh, wait, is it? What? No, I don't have your sound. I don't know why. Can you?
No audio?
Yes, now.
Now you can hear me?
Yes, that works.
Perfect,
Okay.
perfect.
How are you doing?
Technical difficulties on my side. I'm good. How are you doing today?
Good, man. All good, all good. Yeah, so like you're so chat like for everyone watching, and if you have any question, do not hesitate like to ask Mike while we have the interview and stuff. Because yeah, like we have to do a short one today, but that's fine. Fucking legendary. I'm so happy to have you on the channel. Can you start by like introduce yourself for like the two people in the back that don't know you yet? And even you know what?
Absolutely. So I'm one of the founders of Hey Wallet. We started Hey Wallet back about a year ago now. What we want to accomplish is we want to solve. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I'm one of the founders of Hey Wallet, and we are one of the biggest digital wallet one of the biggest digital wallets in the space, or especially more specifically on the Solana side. We want to essentially simplify the digital. We want to simplify the sending and receiving. We realize that sending assets just isn't easy. No one's really perfected the right user experience, so we want to continue to bridge Web 2 users over into Web 3 by allowing them to essentially create a wallet that attaches to their Web 2 handles, such as Twitter, Discord, and Telegram, and others. And so we want to essentially create a new layer that allows people to be able to send transactions as easy as possible and be layered on top of all the communication channels and serve as more of a secure, frictionless payment experience for all digital assets.
That's cool. And like, man, like sending crypto and like token and even NFT via Twitter, this is massive. Like in terms of adoption and like marketing, etc. It's so. Came out even with the ID, right? Like, how does that pop up? Is that a show ID or something like that?
Yeah. So when you say ID, what do you mean exactly?
Like to send like to from one person to another.
Oh, came up with the idea. Sorry, idea. Okay, sorry, it cuts
French
in and
accent,
out for me.
sorry.
I thought you said I. No, no, you're good. You're good. So essentially, it was one of my other co-founders, and what he wanted to do was he had this idea probably in the really during DeFi summer, and he noticed how
Mm-hmm.
fast things were growing, and he realized this is a great opportunity because he wanted to make it simpler to send assets, and instead of doing it with wallet addresses, he realized, okay, what's another way we can do this where people are already available online and using these types of profiles? And so that was essentially how it started. Was he just had this idea like in his head, thinking, okay, let's use our Twitter address for as a first source of the
Mm.
digital identity because there's already such a large number of users on crypto Twitter, essentially.
Yeah. I know, like, yeah, and it's massive. Like we saw like the. I remember honestly, like Finn started like to send a couple of dust via Twitter and stuff, and like I had like a ha moment kind of with like, man, like the user experience. It's so nice. In that it's only 1 hour or 1 hour, 1 year since you launch.
Yeah, essentially, just over a
Fuck.
year. It feels a lot longer. I feel like in crypto
Yeah.
Twitter, 1 year is like five, honestly. But if you don't, this might make it easier for me because I keep cutting my audio keeps coming in and out. But
Okay, no problem.
we it's funny. We launched as a hackathon entry at the end of October 2021, and it feels like a lot longer than that, honestly. But it's as we all know, crypto Twitter moves 10 times faster than anything else.
Yeah, and like man, we all age like way faster in Web3 than normal people, right?
Oh my God, I know. I mean, just think about all the things that have happened in the last 6 months. Really, I mean, it's crazy to think that the whole FTX collapse really only happened about 5 months ago. It feels like forever
Yeah.
ago.
And that's but like the usage of like, yeah, what kind of
Can you repeat that
KPIs
question
of it?
again? You cut off me.
Oh, okay.
What kind of
Okay.
what?
Like, what are the KPIs of like the A wallet since the last couple of
Gotcha.
months?
Yeah, the KPIs, the KPIs that we're essentially trying to approach is um, we want to really focus on becoming a um, um, we essentially want to focus on becoming a a uh, a top wallet in the space. So one of the main KPIs we're really looking at is is really retention, right? Like new users, how many new users we're obtaining, and the next part of that is like retention, really like how often people are using the product and like how many people are coming back to it every day, kind of thing.
In this bear market?
Can you repeat that question one more time?
Okay. But like, how many users? Connection is breaking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. So how many users do you have like in this bear market?
Right now, we're at over 120 plus thousand.
Oh, that's cool. And like they because for example, even like during like the Bonk and like Frank Mania, like have you seen like any more traffic of people using?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We
That's crazy.
just in the last just in the last couple months, we've processed over 4 million transactions.
Damn. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
massive.
So
That's massive.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's been pretty wild. There's only four of us, so we're just trying to keep up with all that traffic.
No. Oh, yeah, yeah. Like I saw like your team on your website. Like yeah, it's not a lot of people to reach that scale, right? It's crazy. Like
Yeah, it's like when you only have that many people,
yeah.
it really feels like we're just uh, we're wearing so many hats. It's literally why I'm literally online. Like I'm just back to back in meetings and
Mm.
so of the four of us, I'm the only one who's not a full stack engineer. Everyone else on the team is, and so
Okay.
essentially they're the ones who are putting out the fires all day while I'm trying to keep our eyes and ears out open in the in the market as well as just in the community and running the Twitter accounts and running the community pages and just trying to the Discord, everything trying to keep us afloat and continue to push us and get more and more users.
Yeah. I know that's fascinating. And what's the angle like of the application? What's the direction you're taking like during this bear market?
Um, right now, I think our main focus is um, trying to continue to grow as fast as possible. I think
Hmm.
inevitably, um, I think for our main focus more than anything else is to try to really one grow our brand and we want to eventually start working with other wallets. Like we want to become more of a payment layer. We don't want to think people
Okay.
to think of us as just a wallet, but we realize that we're going to be able to work faster with other products and we want to essentially start being able to partner with more and more projects and integrate with more and more other services.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. And like you have like the also like
Can you repeat that question one more time?
yeah, sorry. Like you're like recently released like a couple of like integration with Telegram and even
Yeah,
Discord. Yeah.
that's right. So that's right. We launched two different. We launched Discord towards the end of last year, but it's
Hmm.
been more or less in a private beta, and then we've launched Telegram in the last, um, actually like less than 2 weeks ago. And so we're
Okay.
going to continue to grow our product out in other platforms, but we want to really just be able to kind of work. We want to be as composable as possible, where you can, use Hey Wallet and just about any communication channel that we can integrate with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even
And
like
like
email, right?
yeah, exactly.
So that's a big one for us too. Where let's say you want to email somebody and then you just like essentially attach their email and the Hey
Mm.
Wallet, account to it. And what it does, will set up and facilitate the transfer, and then that person can just sign in with their email and be able to claim those funds from it.
Um, well, like lowering like all of the friction like from one user to another basically by yeah even like
Exactly.
using email to email. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you. It just for some reason every 15 seconds or so it cuts out and then kind of goes back
Yeah.
in.
Okay, let me. Okay, I that's gonna be interesting, but I think I need to change the battery of my mic. Uh, that's the reason why.
Ah, okay, okay.
I think that's
Yeah,
why.
it's
Okay, give me the
no
thing.
problem. No, take your time.
Yes. mon style. Tac. Okay, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better? Hello? Are you here, Mike? Mike? Can you hear me, Mike? Can you hear me? Mike? Mike, are you here? Chat, can you hear me better? Is that like the sound like resolves? I think it should be fine. Let me check. Hello? Mike? Why did I lose him? Mike?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I
okay.
can hear you now.
I think I was out of battery. That's why like the mic was completely fucked.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
But okay, cool. So let's continue. Sorry about that. Like a lot of technical issues in the last couple of streams. That's annoying, but yeah, life. I guess.
Hey, I'm bullish on technical issues, right? It just means we're pushing new technology. That's what it's supposed to be breaking.
Yeah, but like that's tech stack is like Web 2.1 that should be managed since 10 years, but you know, what life, right? I think
right.
if you want, you can come back with the video because that should be resolved. Like it was definitely my camera, battery.
I can hear you now. Perfect. Perfect now. Now, because you were cutting out every few minutes, I didn't know if it was perfect. Yeah.
No, that's
Russell. Thank you. Yep.
No problem. I really need to mic check everything and have like batteries ready, you know. Anyway. So it's gonna be better now that you can hear me asking question. Okay, so like like one of the main question with like a wallet is like in Web3, do you think the fact that we have wallet and it's like an extension of like the in your browser, is that like the first biggest friction we can have like in the industry that can like block people to jump in? Did I? Oh my God.
I heard you. You cut out. So as far as I love it. As far as what I believe, what wallets provide for Web3, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And so
What the way I look at it is essentially the wallet is your first, as I'm not sure if you've heard this or what, but it's very cliche if you have, but it's really the truth. But your wallet is really is your first introduction into Web3, right? It's the
Yeah.
first way everybody gets introduced. And for a lot of people, believe it or not, the way you're introduced to technology, actually, it's just like anything in life, right? It's that first
Mm.
impression. And so I think a big reason why we're seeing so many users not like so many people not joining into Web3 is because a lot of how much friction there is with a lot of these wallets, right? It's
Yeah.
very difficult. It doesn't provide a very clean, easy user experience. You have to know what you're doing. You got to be very self-aware of the things you're doing. And so to answer your question directly, absolutely, it's essential to your Web3 experience.
Mm.
And however, with that being said, uh, the current wallets that you're seeing are going to continue to evolve. Just like a lot of the NFTs, a lot of the NFT projects we're seeing are going to continue to evolve. Wallets and are going to continue to evolve in a way where they're going to be more frictionless. They're going to be easier to use. They're going
Mm.
to either have, they're going to. I think the best wallets in the future are going to be the ones that aren't attached to just wallet to address, right? So,
Yeah.
when you're online, you don't need to be to be able to connect to a user. You don't need their IP address. You don't need all these things to try to
Mm.
figure out and connect with them. It's just a click of a button to jump on a live chat like this with a name. So I think a lot of what you're going to see with wallets is they're going to continue to evolve in a way where they have the functionality to be simple. Like they're going to simplify the user experience, and they're going to evolve. And as far as an extension of Web3, really what I mean by what I'm getting with all this to kind of wrap it into to this is being that's your first introduction into Web3. It's one of the most, it's like your gateway into before you do anything in Web3 or
Mm.
any crypto, really, you have to have a wallet, right? You can't you can't really interact with other users, and not even other users. You can't really interact with any dApps without it. And it kind of plays a big vital factor into that. And I think, like I said, as it continue to evolve, it's going to get easier and easier, and
Yeah.
we're going to see a lot of these adoption. We're going to see a lot of the user experience and user interface more especially are going to adapt in a way where it's just going to be a lot more frictionless, so users
Mm.
don't have to try to understand. They're going to give them something they're familiar to use. And I think that's one reason why at Haywall we're trying to approach it that way. We're using Web 2 and as a way to transact into Web 3, because it provides that more frictionless experience for users. So that way you're giving them something that they're used to.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And like it's basically like, yeah, your Twitter become like your passport and identity is completely attached to it, and you don't have like a weird like series of numbers and letters that will be like attached to you. And like again, like the user experience is way better than for me to send like you Dust or like Soul, whatever, via your Twitter account directly, than asking you to give me your wallet and make the transaction. So that's
Exactly.
pretty cool. And basically, what you are doing is like you are transforming Twitter into a bank, and that's bullish, man.
Yeah, in a weird way, right? It's more or less facilitating using Twitter as the method for
Mm.
distribution, I think, is a way to look at it. So very similar to what a lot of I hate to say exactly like a bank, but the bigger
Mm.
difference is, with banks, they're centralized holding all the money, where
Yeah,
you are in possession of your own, your own assets. So it takes it kind of takes a lot of that away from us. But a lot of how banks work with facilitating transactions, it's a lot we see the same with wallets. We're just layering those transactions on top of Twitter.
yeah, yeah, and like Twitter just like a way like to send it but like yeah, by using WhatsApp, Telegram, and Discord, etc., it's the same process. And it's honestly it's quite a genius idea. But like, okay, so what's your business model? Because everything is free, right? So how do you make money, and how are you going to make this company a unicorn?
It's a good question. I think for us, what makes the most sense is finding ways to incorporate incorporate transaction fees for
Mm-hmm.
users. So like let's say one way more specifically is not a lot of it will continue to remain like specific things will continue to remain free. We're in a hyper growth mode right now where we're just
Okay.
not really worried about trying to generate revenue just yet because I think a lot of the way we would want to generate revenue is just having a lot more users, 1 million plus.
Yeah.
And I think for us specifically, though, where we find our biggest niche would be the same as, simplifying things that are already available, but, making it easier, like swapping, where you
Yeah.
can just type in, hey, wallet swap 1 SOL for USDC, or also potentially looking into on and off ramps where you can be able to connect your Hey wallet and then also off ramp, so when people are receiving rewards or receiving any type of transaction from Hey wallet, using a third-party provider to allow us to be able to connect, and that way you can off ramp it from Hey wallet
Mm-hmm.
into a bank account and then from
See?
there we charge a small fee, kind of like a Venmo or whoever
Yeah.
else people do. So just making kind of providing those off ramps for people.
Mm. That's fantastic. And like you can even like have the business model around an NFT and a token, right?
We as far as NFTs and tokens, we definitely could have there's an opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is both require both of them are they require a lot of work, right? And so I
Yeah.
think for us, in order for it to make sense, we have to be ready to take on those challenges. And I think for us, we're very much product builders.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go down that path, I think we want to make sure that we're completely ready. It's not to say that we won't go down that path, but for us, it's just not a top priority just yet.
Okay. Oh, that was a nice, like a small, question to know if I need to grind for a whitelist or something or for airdrop.
Well, I promise you, we're gonna be rewarding a lot of we do have plans for big massive airdrops, and
Nice.
we're working our way there. I think for us, it's just a lot of it's timing.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
as far as roadmap goes, I think it's probably something that we want to do sooner than later, but we want to make sure that we have an idea that we want to execute on. It's
Nice.
been like the grand vision idea for a long time, and we want to really pull off one of the largest massive airdrops in Solana and potentially in all of the crypto industry, honestly. So,
That's cool.
but as far as pulling it off, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of we want to make sure we're in the right position to potentially to avoid any the last thing you want to do is pull off a mass airdrop and then your system breaks or bugs are found. So it's going to require us to scale our team out first and just prepare ourselves in a way where we're going to have to be ready to take on a lot of traffic.
No, that's cool. And just for you to know, like my handle is VTLL.
Oh, I know, man. I'm already following you. Absolutely.
No, but like I again, like honestly, what you have built, like it seems it's like without any friction, like it works like seamlessly. It's so cool. It's really impressive. Like that kind of like tools, like simple tool, but like beautiful execution. That makes like the most exciting business to be part of it and like see it grow and stuff. Like it's so cool. Like when I check like your number of followers on like Twitter, like just before this live, and like you see, like I saw you like almost like 150K. It's fantastic, man. Like, it's so freaking cool, and it's completely cross-chain. It's like cross project. I love that kind of project. So cool.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And did you raise money after like the hackathon or like?
Yeah, we raised a small round beginning of last year, and then now we're in a position where we're speaking with other some
nice.
We're speaking with some people right now that we've been in talks with certain firms about potentially raising another round. So we'll see if we go down that path. But yeah, if we do, I think it will help really. I think that when it comes down to raising money, I think there's a couple questions you have to ask. One is, do you really need it? And then
Yeah.
two, like, what are you gonna do with it? And I think for us and our at the standpoint where we're at, it really comes down to just using the money to be able to move faster and reach our goals. Is just quicker.
No, that's cool. So yeah, in that case, like your business model and revenue can wait, because as soon as you don't have revenue, then you can raise even more, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Well, it's just a formula that works really well, and
Yeah.
it just because the question is once you start generating, once you for business models that we would could potentially pursue, uh, if we started doing those things now, it would be so insignificant to the point
Yeah.
where we wouldn't really see the return that you would really want off of it. But inevitably, the more users you continue to obtain and scale from, the easier it is to be able to use those models to actually generate a sizable return.
That's a nice mindset. Like it says, like go big or go home, right?
Exactly. Right. It's like why end the party at 10 o'clock? So
exactly. Yeah. Let's grind until 4 a.m. man. All night long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keep it going the next day.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's cool. But like, yeah, and even like in this market condition, like it's gonna be even like tricky to like kind of both like doing like the raising money, but like even like generated like money from customers that just want to save and like their liquidity to mint the next NFT maybe. I don't know exactly, but like yeah, it could be, or not just like stop spending and like losing interest into crypto like altogether, right? So
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
yeah, no, go for it.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. It's probably I joke around. It's probably the best and worst time to be starting a Web3 company.
Yeah.
The best time, worst time. I'll start with the worst first to get that out of the way. Worst time because obviously we already all know that we're in a bear market, right? It's just the hardest. We're in the middle of a storm. But the best time, because if you make it through the storm, you're going to position yourself in a way where you're gonna if you can get through this, you're gonna be able to get through anything essentially.
No, 100%. Yeah, like if you survive this bear market, then you are a cockroach, and then like it's an Airbnb scenario, right? Like when you can resist to everything and survive. But like, is there any like strategy like for your team, like to just like survive the next 2 years without like any huge revenue? Like, what do you do like in particular to do that?
I mean, I think that's it's a good question. I think for us, one biggest strategy that we're very much, we come from the Web2 world. We all worked. Two of the founders. This isn't their first project. This isn't the first company.
Nice.
So they've even raised money before in a different project, and as far as myself, I also have worked at various other startups that were actually generating millions of dollars of revenue. Like we helped scale from generating like less than $1 million. Like for one like the first startup I got introduced to, essentially I started at a startup, and my sales market that I was overseeing was generating only a few $100,000. But then by the time I left, within 2 years, it more than quadrupled to generating that market alone over 2 million. So
Nice.
I myself have the experience in the startup world, and more specifically what I mean by that is what I've experienced and all of us have experienced in is just being ultra lean. And I think that's the most important strategy, is just ask yourself in any situation, like, is this a needed cost? Is this a needed expense? If we didn't have this, right? One way we always look at something is, if we didn't have this specific thing, how much would it affect our growth? And like, how much of an impact will it make if we don't have this? And if the answer is pretty minimal, then that tells us, okay, it's insignificant for now. Let's continue to move on to, because right now I think when you're dealing with any startup, especially in situations like this, you got to just be very prepared to be ultra lean, spend as little money as possible, and be very hyper focused on just growing and understanding that last point that I made again, where if it doesn't affect the bottom line, then you have to just kind of put in the back burner and focus on the things you can control that are going to continue to grow the business as much as possible in the shortest, quick as possible, as much as possible, essentially.
That's cool. And like, yeah, with that kind of track record, like, no wonder why Hey Wallet is like so successful. Like, you just have like an awesome team of Avengers put together the best work in the same like goal, and then you end up with like that kind of success. That's cool.
Yeah, once again, yeah, absolutely, and it's just continuously staying as lean as possible.
No, that's perfect. And like, what do you think like the industry needs like to even like see another like the next bull market? Because like a lot of like even on Solana, right? Like, so we saw like FTX going under, like, but like they were like pushing, like they inject a lot of cash on the chain. From your perspective, what's gonna bring the next bull market on Sol and in crypto in general?
You know, I hate to sound cliche with this one, but a lot of it comes down to just mass adoption, really.
Mm-hmm.
The more users we continue to obtain and interest, I think there's a couple different things. One is, you know, I think to be even more clear, it's innovation. The more innovation we have, right, the better these products become, the better we interact with these smart contracts, the better we just a long list of things that need to happen first. But a lot of it really comes down to just innovating and improving the current user experience, improving how we currently use, you know, these products.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it sets you up for that mass adoption in a way where you're able to then start to target and get more users, right? And when I say more users, I mean in the ecosystem, more people using these different products, more people buy NFTs, more people investing in a token. So I think a lot of that comes down to just the first step being innovation, where it's something so innovative that people want to be a part of. And then the second aspect would be really just you know, rolling into mass adoption. So the better and easier these products get, and the more they make sense for people to want to use, the more likely it would be, right? And so I think a good example of this obviously is like a lot of us, you know, myself, I'm based stateside, but I have family back overseas, and so like one perfect example is I can be able to send and receive tokens to my cousin who's based in Armenia, for instance. And it just makes it a lot easier for me where I can just do it. He receives it almost, you know, immediate versus, you know, I have to go do like a wire transfer and do all the extra steps that just requires, and just even for a small amount of money, right? It's not like I'm trying to send hundreds of thousands of dollars, but even just to send $100 to my cousin for his birthday, it's like, it's not worth it. You know, I have to spend so much money and it's going to take way too long. And it's so inconvenient, right? And so one way to think about it is whenever there comes an opportunity where it's so frictionless, where it makes sense that I can send him a gift and he gets it immediately, you know, real time, that I think will be very, very lucrative and a great opportunity for a lot of people to want to start using the blockchain and different technologies that are available.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like, a wallet will like be the perfect tool to do that mission and like accomplish this mission 100%. And that's so much exciting, man.
Yeah, thank you. For sure, man.
Okay, so like fortunately we'll have like to wrap this show like soon, but like bro, like I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. We will need to do an episode 2 in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say we should do this again. I'm down to run it back. Especially we should connect, and when we have some big stuff coming up in the pipeline, we should connect and do this again. I would love to jump in and talk about some of the new updates that we have. We've just been so busy just updating a lot, pushing a lot of new updates and speaking with investors and just dealing with all the new recent growth we've had, that we haven't had a lot of time building some of the new things that we want to build and push out. But inevitably, when we get to that position where we're hyper focused on growth again, I'd love to jump on this and do this again and run it back.
Man, this channel is your home. If you have any announcement to do, like, it's your home. It's your place.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'll definitely take you up on that offer.
Wonderful. So I will make like a sweet banner for Hey Wallet too. That's gonna be so cool.
Oh, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. You're a legend.
Thank you so much. Okay, like last industry question, and then like we can wrap up. Then so you can have a break before your next call, bro. Like, what do you think about like ordinals and like NFT on Bitcoin in general? Like, are you bullish on that, or is that like the part of innovation that we will need to have even like more adoption, or is that like something for degen by degens?
That's a great question. To be quite honest with you, I love it. I think it's great. I think the more I'm the reason why I love it is very simple. I'm a very big proponent on continuing to test and iterate, right? I believe that we're never going to learn unless we try something new. And if people try and it fails, in my eyes, that's a success, because there's no such thing as failure. Can be defined in different ways, right? And I think for me, failure is defined where you stop trying to improve and innovate. That's the most important key. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to try some new shit. And if in not working the first swing, I mean, we're in Web3, baby. Like, this is all, that's what it's all about here, is to try something new and fail, and then get back up on that horse and try it again and make it work. And so as far as NFTs minting on Bitcoin, I'm very bullish on it, and primarily for the fact that I think it's something completely new. I mean, a year ago, people said it couldn't be done.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect example of whenever somebody says, "Oh, it can't be done," I always respond with, "No, it just hasn't been done yet."
Yeah, exactly.
And this is exactly that. Now, granted, with that being said, I don't really know a whole lot about the whole process. I know I'm familiar with certain, like, the high level of how it works, but I need to do my homework and research and really dive in deeper. I'm excited to see what the Decod3rs are going to do. I think I'm really happy for Frank and the team and Finn. I think that I'm big fans of theirs, and I'm actually excited to see how it's going to work. In my eyes, I'm just watching. I'm learning from them. So, regardless of what happens in their experience, I think it's going to be exciting to watch. And I think everyone should be rooting for them, because at the end of the day, like, they're leading the way. And I feel like a lot of what they can do, if they could translate that into success, then that just proves to other projects they can do the same thing.
100%. And like, are we going like to see her wallet like integrating like Bitcoin Lightning or something like that? Is that even possible right now? Or is that on the roadmap?
It is possible, and
Nice.
It is something that it will be eventually on the roadmap for sure. We're going to probably start with Ethereum first, just because it's just a lot easier, a lot more transferable. But it's definitely something that we're definitely talking about and
nice
for sure.
I think that's super exciting, man. I will be here to test like the features for sure. Okay, so I think like we can wrap the show. Do you want to announce something? Like, do you have any last word like to for the like everyone watching us the stream right now, or like even the replay?
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you go follow Hey Wallet. Make sure you get your Hey Wallet account signed up. Eventually, we're sending out tons of rewards all the time. There's opportunities to win NFTs, win airdrops. We're going to continue to test, iterate. We plan on doing an airdrop soon, another test mass airdrop with our followers soon. So make sure you're following us. Tell everyone to follow us. And granted, don't get too worked up. It's not going to be a large amount. A lot of what we're doing is testing. We want to do small amounts first to make sure that when the big one comes, we're ready and making sure nothing breaks.
Nice. Let's fucking go, baby. That's exciting. Let's go. Thank you so much, Mike, for your time. Sorry for all of the fucked up during the stream, but again, it's a calling for an episode 2. Just DM me whenever you want to, and we will run that episode 2 whenever the fuck you want.
Sounds good, my man. I can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who joined the stream. Thank you so much for every comment, etc. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.
See you guys.
Cheers.